First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhenkong, homage to the 16th Dharma King Karmapa, and homage to the Master Dupten Dorji, homage to the three jewels of the altar, homage to the main deity of Homa today, Kurukulla Buddha Mother. Simu, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, temple directors, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our guests of honor today. From the North Coordination Council of Republic of China, Taiwan, Secretary General Liao and Mrs. Liao, Dharma Sister Judy. And the Chief Secretary of the Taiwan government, Mr. Tsang and Mrs. Tsang. And the Chief Secretary of the Nantou County, Mr. Chen Tsang. And the legislator of the Nantou County, Mr. Lin. And the former head of the Social Welfare Bureau of Nantou County, Mr. and Mrs. Xiong. From Nantou County, the Civil Service Department, the Chief, Mr. Wu. From Nantou County Religious Department, the Chief, Mr. Cheng. From Nantou County Civil Service, Mr. Tsang. From Nantou County Councilperson, Ms. Xu Zhuang. From Nantou County Councilperson, Ms. Jian. From the DPP Party of Kaohsiung City, the Vice Chair, Ms. Xu Hui. From the DPP Party of Tainan City, the Head Chief, Mr. Tsai Wangquan, and the candidate for the Mayor of Nantou County, Mr. Li, and the legislator Cai Ji-chang's representative, Ms. Chen Mei-hui, and Caotun Town's Mayor's representative, Mr. Hong, and Caotun Town, the Sheriff, Mr. Chen. From the Academia Sinica, Professor Zhu and Mrs. Zhu. And from the professors, the group of professors, Dr. Ye, Dr. Lin, Dr. Wang, Dr. Mai, Professor Tan, Dr. Hong, Dr. Lin, Dr. Su, and Dr. Wang, Dr. Yo, Dr. Tsai, Dr. Gu, and Dr. Liang. And from the Zhongshan Medical University affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, the head, Dr. Cheng. And from Asia, Hong Kong Asia University Information Management College, Mr. and Mrs. Lee, an entertainer, Mr. Sin Long, attorney to Buddha Foundation, Mr. Luo, and Miss Huang, and a singer from Malaysia, Mr. Huang and family, Mr. and Mrs. Tu Tsang Sui, Mr. and Mrs. Tsai, a known businessman from Hong Kong, Mr. and Mrs. Lei, and the Royal Greenfield Group of Arab Muslim businessman from Indonesia, Mr. Tsang, Mr. Kwan, Miss Wu, and Miss Huang. From the CTI-TV Taiwan, producers for the Canadian Sangshinton, Miss Rebecca Su. Producers for the Platform Sutra and Development Stages of Tantayana, Master Lian Yue, and the host, my sister Pei Jing. And the president of the Southeast Travel Group. Everyone, good afternoon. How do you do? In Taiwanese, in Mandarin, in English, in Japanese, good afternoon. We have many Japanese fellow disciples here today, and Japanese master. All Japanese men and women, they're all here. Good afternoon in Indonesian and Malay, and in Cantonese, and Spanish. Anyone from Thailand? Yes, we have disciples in Thailand, and we have a chapter in Thailand and Vietnam. I could only speak Sawadika. How about Vietnamese? And the senior monk, senior master, Master Tsang can speak Vietnamese. So please say a few words. That's Vietnamese. Master Tsang grew up in Taiwan, in Vietnam, in Saigon. He lived in Vietnam for 19 years. Today, Selamat Ulang Tahun in Indonesian, meaning happy birthday. It's the birthday of the Jade Emperor. Today is the birthday of the Jade Emperor. And Grandmaster was at the Taichung Jade Emperor Temple, first received the initiation or guidance from the Golden Mother and guided a grandmaster to propagate Buddha Dharma. So the Jade Emperor's birthday is today, is the lunar calendar, the 9th day of the first month. So Selamat Ulang Tahun, which means happy birthday. And today it is the Homa fire offering ceremony of Kurukulla Buddha Mother. And it is also the Dharma transmission of the Kurukulla's 10 directional arrows. Because this deity is related to the all heavens, the 10 heavens, the 28 heavens even. So Jade Emperor came, and all the heavenly beings of the 28 heavens all came today to the ceremony. And there are many special guests from the spirit world, the formless world, like all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all the Herukas, the kings, all the divinities, heavenly beings, they all present here, including my own mother. So now let's have the Jade Emperor say a few words. It's his birthday. So by listening to your own heart, you can listen to the words of the Jade Emperor for 1 minute. He said, welcome to the Jade Emperor Temple. We welcome everyone there to worship. From the Nantou County, we had several officials here. So let me say a few words about the building of this Tsang temple. Actually, it was quite different from the typical, because it was the development on a hill. And the government gave us permits, and the permits was on the Taiwan Tsang temple. So the number for the permit was 001. So it was the first. So, and there was none others. There wasn't number 2 or number 3. So it was the only one. And it was very interesting. In the past, I had visited the Silai temple, and I said that I wanted to build Taiwan Tsang temple in Taiwan, and Master Xing Yun and Master Xing Tin had built temples. had met with them. I visited them and met with them, and I asked Master Xingyun and Master Xintin. So the Foguang temple is really huge. How did you get permits for building the temple? And he said, Master Xingyun, on the slope of the great tree village, it's called Dasu village. So they started to build like a farmhouse and then change the use. And because you had got the permit first and then they just let you use it. So it was extremely difficult to be able to build on a hill, to build like the Taiwan Tsang temple on this tiger mountain. So I prayed to Kurukulla Buddha Mother so that we can build the temples according to the laws. You know, the heavenly beings love to play chess in heaven. So at that time, we still have the provincial government. At the time when we built the Lijiang temple, the provincial government, the one that was controlling the religions department was it was from the construction bureau and then the civil service bureau and then development bureau. At that time, this magnetizing deity showed the great power because Master Xintin said it's really extremely difficult. You could ask permit for a farmhouse first and then change the use. And they said it's impossible. It would be impossible. Of course, the great Master Xingyun did not say impossible, but he had a very strong accent, not the typical Taiwanese accent. He came from Yangzhou, China. Not sure. But yes, he was from Yangzhou. And I could not understand his accent, but what he said was something like impossible. It would be impossible. So it was all fated, arranged by the heavens, and Kurukulla Buddha Mother arranged everything. And at that time it was Mr. Wu Dunyu, which is the Vice President of Republic of China Taiwan now. He was the governor of the Nantou County at that time. That was 30 years ago. And we knew each other already. So he was the governor of the Nantou County. And Mr. Tu Deqi was the true Buddha disciple, and the Dharma name is Lian Jiang, Jiang meaning general. And the religious department and the civil service bureau, I did help with his feng shui, Mr. Tsang. From the construction bureau, Mr. Tsang. So with 2 bureaus and the province, the county, and Mr. Tu, and he thought, oh, this Mr. Lu Sengyan helped me with feng shui, so he approved from the construction bureau, Mr. Tsang, and from the civil service, Mr. Tu was to be the disciple. It's Sizun, it's grandmaster, and the disciple would definitely listen to the guru, right? Of course, he approved and provided the seal, and then brought those to the county, and then the governor thought it's been approved, and we knew each other for a long time, Vice President and I. Of course, the chop from the Nantou County also made its mark. So think about it. Such a huge project like Fo Guang Temple, Fo Guang San, even for them it was extremely difficult to build. So us that's so tiny, like Seng Yan Lu, could obtain permits for building his temple. So the certificate, the permit, was not given to the huge tiger, but instead to the little ant. And that's because of the power of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and the power of Kurukulla Buddha Mother. So the development permit was given, and the number was 1001. So it's getting more and more difficult when you build a farmhouse and then change its use. But we could obtain the proper permits for building this temple. And in Taiwan, it is quite difficult, and development on a hill is extremely difficult. So our permit was 001. And that's through the great power of Kurukulla Buddha Mother. And she collected those 3 key people, 2 chiefs of the bureaus and the governor of the county. That was great, wasn't it? So the magnetizing deity was truly great. It was tremendous. And she can give the great love and respect, medium and small love and respect. So if you want to become presidents in the future, all of you who were primary supplicants today would have the chance. Maybe you would be born in America and become the president of United States of America. Or the king of Bolivia, or some small countries in Africa, but you're still a president, right? So if you want to become president, you need to do the practice of these 10 directional arrows. Or if you want to become like Bill Gates, which is the wealthiest man on earth, or in Taiwan would be Ge Taiming, in Hong Kong would be Li Kai-shing, right? Li Kai-shing the wealthiest, the richest people. In order to be the richest ones, you need to do the practice of this Kurukulla 10 directional arrows. The richest ones, or the most famous ones, like the singer Zhou. Actually, he's not as good looking as Reverend Lian Zhen or Reverend Lian Ya, but yet the two of them became monks, and he is a famous singer. You have to do this Dharma practice. As soon as you flip your hair, all the girls would faint. That's great magnetism. So by requesting for the great magnetism, you would get it. If you become the leader of the religions, you also need to do this Dhamma practice. So you need to master this Kurukulla 10 directional arrows Dhamma practice. You need to do this practice. So for the Kurukulla Buddha Mother, there are the great magnetism, the medium magnetism, or the small magnetism. The great magnetism would involve the leader of a great mass of people or countries, or the presidents of the companies. That would be medium magnetism. And in your family lives, that would be small magnetism. If you want to court a beautiful lady, then you have to have the small magnetism as your foundation. Otherwise, you would grow old alone. Doesn't matter how handsome you are. It's very interesting that they may date for a few days and that's it. So you want to create affinity greatly with people. In order to have such magnetism, you need to do this Kurukulla 10 directional arrows Dhamma practice. Now, before we pray to Kurukulla Buddha Mother, we have to say that Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction above, Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction below, and Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the 8 directions, the north, south, east, and west, and then the 4 directions in between. So 8 directions, and then plus up and down. Altogether 10 directions. So at the beginning of your Dhamma practice, you need to invoke Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the 10 directions, Kurukulla Buddha Mother of up above, Kurukulla Buddha Mother below, and Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the 8 directions. And you need to set up an altar, and it is difficult to set it up. At the center, Mount Sumeru, and on the 4 directions, Kurukulla Buddha Mother, at the 4 directions. And the structure of the universe, at the middle, Mount Meru, the 4 great continents and the 8 small continents, and the 7 golden mountains and the 7 golden oceans. And then to hang the Kurukulla Buddha Mother altar to represent the sun and moon. On the wall, you hang an image of or tanka of Kurukulla. In front of the Thangka, you set up a round table. So a circle, a round inside and square outside. So if you have a square table, you can have the setup round inside the table. At the center, it would be a smoke offering burner. This is considered a smoke offering incense burner. This was produced by the Bun Bun Company of Hong Kong. This represents the universe, the earth, water, fire, wind, and void, representing Mount Sumeru at the center. So at the center of the table, you place this smoke offering incense burner like this. And inside here, you can place the smoke offering incense powder. And then you open it when you do the smoke offering. When you don't do it, you can close it. And the incense powder for this Dharma practice is the same as for the smoke offering, except one. You need to get 108 blossoms of the peach blossoms and then grind them into powder and place them inside the burner. This is the key formula, 108 blossoms of the peach. So the peach blossoms are red and the pear blossoms are white, and amidst them are many bees. That's humming and humming. Now it's just the right time, the season for the peach blossoms. I heard that there is one peach tree near the Ushina Vijaya Pagoda of the Taiwan Tsang temple, right? Is it sakura? Not the peach blossom tree? It's a cherry blossom tree. Someone told me it was peach blossom. I heard that the tiger side of the emperor temple are all peach trees. So you cannot steal, but you have to ask permission from the owner. Or you can buy 108 blossoms, peach blossoms, and then you dry them and then grind them into powder and mix them into the incense powder of the smoke offering. So that's the ingredients for the smoke offering. And then you can lit the incense, and the smoke may go up, down, or to the 8 directions. That's 10 directions, and that's the 10 directional arrows. And the 4 small continents, this represents a continent. At the center is Kurukulla Buddha Mother, and shooting the 4 directional arrows. So this is the same as Kurukulla Buddha Mother, and the arrows are the arrows of peach blossoms or Utpala flowers, so being shot toward 4 directions. So this represents the 4 great continents, 4 major continents, and place this on the 4 sides of the smoke offering incense burner. The burner at the center, And these 4 on the 4 sides of the burner, the north, south, east, and west. So now, is it clear? And the 8 minor or small continents, you use candles, the red candles, and then prior to the practice, you lit the candles, and if it is the candles, flower-shaped candles, that would be even better, and that represent the 8 small or minor continents. And then around those, there would be the 7 golden mountains and the 7 oceans. Then you can use lamps. And the mountains, you can also use mountain of lamps, 7 candles or lamps. And the oceans, you use water in a circle, 7 of them. 7 lamps, 7 oceans or waters. And then offerings, whatever offerings you like, you can also set it up. And of course the peach blossom arrows, small arrows, then you can place it in between the mountains and the oceans in a circle. So the arrows, you can have 108 of them, or a multiply of 7. 7, 47, 49, 7 times 7 is 49, a multiply of 7 up to 108 or more. Or not that many, it's okay too. 7 or 14 or 21 arrows, or 4 times 7, 28. My math is not that good. So a multiply of 7 in a circle, or 108 arrows, that would be perfect. So in order to practice the great magnetism, you need to shoot 108 arrows. If for this medium magnetism, you can use 49 arrows is good enough. And for the small magnetism, 7 arrows is good enough. So now, you can imagine the altar. At the center, the smoke offering incense burner representing Mount Sumeru, and then the 4 directions representing 4 Kurukulla Buddha mothers shooting arrows to the 4 directions. And then that's representing 4 great continents, and then the 8 small continents representing by 8 candles or 8 peach blossoms. But the peach blossoms can wilt, so you can make the peach blossoms using papers. That would be fine too. And then 7 lamps or light bulbs, electric. It has to be red. The peach blossom should also be red. The arrows should be red. And then 7 cups of water, representing the 7 oceans, the 7 mountains, and then the arrows, whether it's 108 or 79 or multiply of 7. Now, is it clear? And the setup of the altar is like this. For the small magnetism, if there's a man that's very handsome, and he is single and you want to be married to him, it would be best if you can get this representative of him, like a hair, nails, or skin. Of course, we cannot, or like the calluses, and then you take them and place them inside the incense powder, or a little bit of his hair or nail. Or if you can't get those, maybe his old dress, and get a little piece and put them inside the incense powder. If you still can't get those, maybe you can find his shoes, and then the sand or dirt from the sole of his shoes, and then you can take some of those and place them inside the incense powder, like my sandals here. If you have a little bit of dirt, and get them off and place them inside the incense powder, but please don't get grandmasters, okay? Otherwise, grandmaster heart would be shot by you, and grandmaster only have one heart. And if my heart is stolen by you, then grandmaster would lose his way and hit the walls. So in performing this spell, it's the same whether it's for man or woman. And if you still can't get those, you can write his or her name and address, and then place them inside the incense powder. And every time when you do the Kurukulla Buddha Mother practice, especially for this Dhamma practice, you have to recite Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the upper direction, Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction below, and Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the 8 directions. You have to recite that, and then you lit the incense powder and do the Dharma practice. Now, can you do it? Is it clear? So don't ask any questions, okay? If you're clear. Actually, there should not be any questions or problems. But after teaching you a Dharma practice, you start asking questions like how big the blossom is. And then, is pink okay? How about red or pink? But fine, that's fine. Whether the blossom is big or small, as long as you have 108 of them. And you need to get all the ingredients. If it is for small magnetism, like if you would like to court a lady, and if you don't have anything about her, you can just write her name and address and place it inside. If you know her birth date and time, that would be even better. It would be more accurate. Otherwise, even just name and address, maybe they would find the wrong person. Maybe it would be her sister instead. Or if you're trying to target the big sister, you get the little sister. So please be careful. That's the key points. So at the center, Mount Sumeru, the 4 great continents, the 8 small continents, the 7 great mountains, and the 7 oceans. And then all the arrows around it in a circle toward all directions. And then when you start doing the smoke offering, and the smoke starts, and then all the karmic debtors would also come and take away what they want. And then the peach blossoms would also radiate, and those with the great affinity would become relatives or connected. So 10 directional arrows. So if you do it with 108 arrows or 108 directions, that would be great magnetism. And from the medium magnetism, you don't need that many peach blossoms or arrows, just a multiply of 7. So those people with great magnetism today is because they practice Kurukulla Buddha Mother in their past lives. But the magnetism attracted the wrong people instead of the right people. And that would be problematic. So when you do the practice of these 10 directional arrows, like those who strive for the election, say that from the DPP party for the Nantou mayor. Oh, he left already? Oh, too bad. Otherwise, if he had heard this and do the practice, oh, such a good practice, then the smoke would go to all the spirit world, to the intangible world, all over, all directions, and you would have great magnetism. If you're not elected president in this lifetime, maybe in next lifetimes. So if you do the practice in this lifetime, in your next lifetime, do you want to be a rich person? So if you do the practice in this life, in your next life, you would definitely be rich. Or if you want to become famous, you would get it. You would want position, status, or wealth. Whatever you want, you would get. And Kurukulla Buddha Mother does not only have arrows, she has not only arrows, but she also has hooks. She can hook on anything. And she also has a lasso that can tie anything. You would definitely get anything you want. So the Buddha Dharma of Kurukulla Buddha Mother is tremendous, has great power. And she's like a great bodhisattva. She's also outwardly, that's her mantra. And her origin is Amitabha Buddha. So Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction above, Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction below, and Kurukulla Buddha Mothers of the 8 directions. So she has great Buddha Mother. She has great Dharma power. And she has great power. In Tantrayana, there are 2 magnetizing deities. One is Kurukulla and the other is Ragaraja. Let me share a joke. How come we have such a joke on the 9th day of the Chinese New Year? One day, there are a fly mother and a fly son are eating lunch, and the son is asking his mom, why are we eating poo every day? And the mom said, don't say such yucky words during lunch. You have to eat them while it's warm. Let me tell you, in the Saha world, you all think that you are not related to the flies. Actually, every person has deep affinity with the flies. Why? Because what we eat. And we didn't have such a toilet then. Actually, what we eat is the same as what the flies eat. How come? You think what you eat is not that thing, but actually what comes out of you is that thing, right? That's like a circle, like a food chain. It's a circle. And in the old time, they don't have chemical fertilizers, so what we use is what we call the great snow. That in the fields, and that we dig a deep hole, and all the stools, all the poos, and all the urines are thrown in there. That's natural, and you use that to fertilize the vegetables, and the vegetables would be really tasty. So it came from that natural fertilizer. That's the food chain. It's like a circle. That every one of us is a fly. It's the same in the old time. But these days they invented the synthetic fertilizers. But actually, those are creating a lot of problems. There's chemicals like Botox in Chinese. It sounds like urine being sprinkled on the face. Of course, that's not right, but it's just a joke. Just kidding. We know that in the world the cycle is suffering, a kind of suffering. By performing the Dhamma practice of Kurukulla Buddha Mother, we can be reborn in the Pure Land of Kurukulla Buddha Mother. And her Pure Land is above the 3 realms, beyond the 3 realms. So she is from the higher realm, a very high Pure Land. And the Pure Land is inside a cave. And inside the cave is Kurukulla Buddha Mother's Pure Lands. And that's beyond the 3 realms. I often said that every one of us is mentally disturbed. Someone is suspecting that his wife is mentally sick, so he went to a psychotherapist and said that she's always afraid that her clothes are being stolen from the closet. And the doctor asked, how did you know? And the husband said, because I came home early from work and my wife told me that she is hiring a man watching her clothes inside the closet. And the doctor said that, I suspect you are the one that's mentally sick. So in the Saha world, all of us are handicapped, mentally handicapped, and we are suffering inside this rebirth cycle. By practicing Kurukulla Buddha Mother, not only we would gain the most precious things, and we can even surpass the suffering and be reborn in the Buddha land of the Kurukulla Buddha Mother. And her Buddha land is in the Western paradise, in the Western very happy Buddha country. This joke is not fun. How could they submit such a joke? When the wife is cleaning the house, found a picture of her husband with the unfamiliar woman and asked the husband, "What is this?" And the husband replied, "Oh, this was from 5 years ago with my girlfriend, and we broke up already." And the wife said, "But how come you wear the sweater that I knit for you last year?" And that was 5 years ago, but I just knitted the sweater last year. And you can say that this is time travel. Recently, I watched 2 movies. One is the Iron Lion and Jade, and it was the actors were Grandmaster's disciples, Xi Xiaosun and Tai Ziyuan. And Pong Cha Cha, the actors. Master Lian Cong from Taiwan. Do you know Pong Cha Cha, the actor? No? The first time you open your chapter in Taiwan, Pong Cha Cha and the head of the chapter, Tsang, together, and he visited your chapter many years ago. The first time I came back to Taiwan, I went to your chapter, and Pong Cha Cha was at your chapter. Pong Cha Cha, Xi Xiaosun, and Tai Ziyuan acted in this film, The Iron Lion. And then I also went to see Da Dao Chen. That was filmed by Zhuge Liang, and after watching the film The Iron Lion, I really admire the Iron Lion. And Da Dao Chen, the film, it's not scientific, it's not history, it's not educational. And Jiang Weisui, I know about his story, but the film didn't show his spirit. And the story of Da Dao Chen. But the film is not hysterical, it's not educational. How could I say so much criticism about it? But it's okay. It's just a film. And the performance of Zhuge Liang is not so extraordinary. And Sui Tang is just so. Sui Tang, the actress. It's not educational, it's not historical, it's not productive, it's not scientific. Oh, what a bad film, Amitabha. It's just a film. And the film is like life, and life is this film. How could it be rated far beyond the Iron Lion? And Iron Lion has a very strong feeling about Taiwan, and it's quite educational. And the Iron Lion is really a well-made film, and it's flowing really well. And the Da Dao Chang, some of them is disrupted, and it's not quite flowing very smoothly. So I'm just talking about the two films. But someone inside the film Da Dao Chen must have practiced Kurukulla Buddha Mother before, because as soon as the film is being released, it reached billions. But the Iron Lion, I sigh for them. Because the Iron Lion should have broken the record to the billions. But how come it's the other way around? So someone must have done the practice of Kurukulla Buddha Mother in the other bad film. So the viewings, the release and of this film, the marketing, the advertising, they must have spent a lot of money, and at the same time they must have practiced. But it is very easy to differentiate that the Iron Lion was a real well-made film. It's flowing really well, and the other film was disrupted, and it's not flowing very smoothly. So I especially watched them. So that's why Kurukulla Buddha Mother had great benefit. Doesn't matter how you look. By practicing Kurukulla Buddha Mother, all the ladies would glue on you. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter whether you're tall or short. Whether you're fat or slim. Even when you have polio, a lot of people would still like you. There's still a beautiful girl married to someone who has polio. He must have practiced Kurukulla Buddha Mother in his past lives. Look at a lot of the CEOs, their looks. Full of they may be fat with a pot belly. Like Master Hui Jun. But do you know, Master Hui Jun is quite cute. Please stand up and show everyone. She must have practiced Kurukulla Buddha Mother. Did you? She has chanted Kurukulla Buddha Mother's mantra. That's why Grandmaster does not despise her with her short limbs, and when she walks it's like a barrel rolling. But she's well liked, and she's well liked by people. At least her Facebook has 5,000 or over 10,000 members. 真佛天空新闻台 There are many tens of thousands of fans following. In the literature class, the teacher asks the students to be filial toward their parents and would always care for their well-beings. And the teacher asked, and one student said, "My parents asked me, how much money do you want?" And then the other student said, "My parents is even worse. That why? Because you have a report card today." That's just a joke. As long as you practice Kurukulla Buddha Mother Dharma practice, it's very interesting. Some kids by practicing Kurukulla, everyone would think you're really cute, you're really well liked, you're really lovable. And some kids, you don't like them. The same with people. Somehow, some people are really well liked. Everyone liked them. And some people, they don't have that affinity. Nobody liked them. But as long as you do Kurukulla Buddha Mother practice, everyone would like to help you. And the mudra, the hand gesture, the ring fingers are hooking on each other, and the other fingers are upright, and they all touching. All the fingers are touching each other. So your bosses would be nice to you, and your subordinates would be nice to you. Then that would be 100% or complete union. So this kind of affinity, and you radiate such affinity naturally, you would have such a good affinity with all beings. And one way, round, a lat, and you make a lat, and to make it form like a coin, and in Taiwanese you call it yen, and you place it in front of Kurukulla Buddha Mother to ask the Kurukulla Buddha Mother to bless it, and then you wrap it in a red paper and then you put it in your pocket, and then when you're interviewing, you would be hired. So you ask Kurukulla Buddha Mother to radiate light upon that lead, a piece of lead, and then you wrap it in with a piece of red paper, and then you carry it with you, and when you interview for a job, the interviewer would like you. So because of the sound, yen also means affinity, also means like a coin, also means lead. Lead, the metal lead. Yeah. So it's like the metal lead, which is like inside the pencil. Yeah. Or when you fish on the fishing rod, you also use lead. And then you form it into like a little coin. And when you're small, and then you pray to Kurukulla Buddha Mother to bless with the mantra. That's the mantra. And then you carry it with you when you're interviewing for a job, and then the interviewers would be attracted by this yen, then would hire you for the job. That's the method. So do you know what this is now? And the mudra, mantra, and her look. So she is smiling, but with anger. I don't know how. So can you smile with anger? I don't know. So her look is smiling with anger. And she is 16, like Grandmaster. Grandmaster is 17. Underage lady and underage girl and underage boy. So, there's one smile that's close. It must be the smile of Mona Lisa, a painting by Da Vinci, like this. How come I've been waiting for you for so long? How come you're home so late? The smile of Mona Lisa. So how come? Is Mona Lisa smiling? No, she's very very skinny. Where had you been? You're home so late. So tell me. That's like my mom before. So I was out all day, and when I got home, my mom was sitting near the door, and she saw me coming in, and I was scared because I knew I haven't done my homework. I had been wild, playing outside, fishing on the beach, and playing the glass balls. And I was playing outside, and my mom was next to the door, and my mom said, "Come in. I wouldn't beat you. Don't worry. Come in and eat something." Good. Finally, you're home. As soon as I get in, as soon as I got in, oh, was beaten. So that smile with a rage. So that's how it was when we were young. Last week it was hot. So inside my own garden, I took off all my clothes and suntan. Got a suntan. And a female neighbor reported to the police, and I was brought to the police station for exhibition. And today I saw her naked inside her garden, so I called the police. And the policeman caught me to the police station and said that I was a peeping Tom. So that lady must have practiced Kurukulla Buddha Mother. The one that had bad luck or the one that never practiced Kurukulla Buddha Mother. Once you do the Kurukulla Buddha Mother, then whatever you say is fine. The other day, Xu Xiaosun told me a joke. He said there's someone was drunk and driving. And there's the check, the roadside check for the drink and drive. And he drank a lot, and the policeman stopped him and had him roll down the window, and could smell the smell of alcohol. And then the driver said, "Oh my God." This is a play of word of Chinese. It's not a smell of alcohol, but it's like 9 people. That there are only 3, not 9, because alcohol sounds like 9. 9 people in your car? No, there's just only 3. It's play of word Chinese. And he was scared to death and crying. And the policeman couldn't do anything. So he must have practiced Kurukulla Buddha Mother. The policeman couldn't even caught him, or couldn't charge him. So that was the joke told by Xu Xiaosun. That was fun. A husband was waiting at the delivery room anxiously, and the nurse brought the baby and showed it to him. And he extended his hand to touch the pants. And he said, "Oh, it's a boy." And the nurse said, "What boy? That was my finger." So he must never practice Kurukulla Buddha Mother. So Kurukulla Buddha Mother, after you do this practice, if you want a son, she would get a son for you. that she would attract a boy for you, would shoot an arrow. One of her hands is holding a bow, and the other hand is holding an arrow, and the other hand is holding a lasso, and another hand is holding a hook. So if you ask for a son from her, you would get a son. If you ask for a daughter, you would get a daughter. She has such power. So she is perfect and complete and all capable, omniscient Kurukulla Buddha Mother. And most importantly about the Kurukulla Buddha Mother, you have to remember her mudra, her look, the look of her body, like inside the tanka. You need to visualize her look like inside the tanka, and light radiated around her, and the mantra. And you can visualize like this. Visualize Mount Sumeru, and the top of the Mount Sumeru, in the sky, there is a red lotus blossom. From Fang, 6 syllable, appear the lotus blossom, and on top of the lotus blossom there would be 3 6 syllable, revolving to become Kurukulla Buddha Mother. And then you visualize Kurukulla Buddha Mother and invoke Kurukulla, and through her radiance, her light radiated upon to invoke all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all divinities and deities. And then you invoke the Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction above, of the Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction below, and Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the 8 directions. And today I am performing the smoke offering for specific purpose. Visualize, recite the mantra, and form the mudra. And you need to do the practice this way. So anyone who has done a tantric practice, you would know Pang to become lotus, and then 3 to become Kurukulla, and then a red fire and red light radiating to all directions, including upon yourself. And you receive the absorption by Kurukulla Buddha Mother. After visualization, you recite the mantra while forming the mudra. Or you form the mudra when you visualize. When you recite the mantra, it's also okay for you to use the chanting beads. Or you recite the mantra for numerous times. Then when you do that, you just form the mudra. So we already have the practice procedure for Kurukulla, the sadhana. Remember what is the great magnetism, medium magnetism, and small magnetism. And also the vows by the earth is so that everyone would receive wealth. The vow by the water, that everybody would be purified and eradicate the karma and sicknesses. And by the vow of the fire, everyone would gain magnetism, the big, medium, and small magnetism. And by the vow of the wind, for subjugation, to subdue the enemies and all the small-minded people, to retract. And by reciting Om Kurukulla Dri Soha for 100,000 times, and you blow a breath toward the person would retract. And if you blow your breath twice, then they would leave the world. So just blow the breath once, not twice. If you don't like this person and you blow a breath on him, then he would be transferred somewhere else. That's the power of the wind for subjugation. And the power of the fire, it's for magnetism. And the power of the water is for purification and curing illnesses. And the power of the earth is for everyone to gain wealth. So homage to Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction above, Kurukulla Buddha Mother of the direction below, and for the Kurukulla Buddha Mothers of the 8 directions. Om Mani Padme Hum.